Then underneath that, you have any number of, we're talking about the tenbu. They can be militaristic, like the guy we showed before. Usually at temples, there's a central deity in the middle of the temple, and this deity is surrounded by 4 guardian deities, one for the north, south, east, and west. And they stand atop demons. There's a little kid, I don't know if you can see that, there's a little demon there. So because they subdue evil and they protect all 4 directions. So the tenbu, who originally were Hindu deities, are a huge class. There's hundreds of them. And they generally appear most frequently in the mandala art form. So that kind of wraps it up. There's too much information, but there are certain common characteristics of each class that help you to identify. The Buddhas, the lump of knowledge, third eye, elongated ears, and the hand gesture. The Bodhisattva, princely dress, decorations, jewelry, fancy hair, possible crowns. The Myo-o, the wrathful faces, the fangs, the fire, and the weapons. And then the Tenbu. The Tenbu are harder to remember because they came from the Hindu pantheon, and there's so many of them. So that basically wraps it up, unless you have questions.
In Japanese, Buddha is Myo-o, right? I think.
Nyorai.
Nyorai. Oh, yeah. Nyorai. Right. What am I thinking? So Nyorai.
So Nyorai is this is the term that the historical Buddha himself, he called himself a Tathagata. That's a Sanskrit word, Tathagata, which was then translated Nyorai, right, by the Chinese. And the pronunciation in Japan is Nyorai. It's a very strange, well, it's a very difficult concept to explain, but Nyorai Nyorai, Tathagata, is another word for Buddha. And it means coming from the origin or returning to the origin. Coming from the source, returning to the source. Thus come, thus gone. All of those concepts are part of the word Nyorai. Nyorai, just remember, Nyorai is the Japanese way of saying Tathagata, and Tathagata is just another way of saying Buddha. Okay? Yeah. Bosatsu, again, is a Sanskrit term translated into Chinese, and the Japanese pronunciation of Bodhisattva is Bosatsu.
So like I think the reason why that I wanted, that I got confused between Nyorai and Myo-o is I wanted to ask you Myo-o as well. So Myo-o is wisdom king, but in English, but I just in Japanese, when I see Japanese and when I see English, it just don't really makes a lot of sense, that translation. So I was wondering if you have want to say something like
well, that. Essentially, they're luminescent kings.
Right.
They're linked to fire, which is the burning away of all desire. And they usually hold a sword, which is the cutting through of cutting ignorance. So the burning away of desire is the fire halo. The sword is the cutting away of ignorance. And then the king of that group, of the Myo-o, is Fudo Myo-o. He's the king of that group. He also holds a rope, and that rope through which he binds up evil. And this group of deities are manifestations of Dainichi, Nyorai, Dainichi Buddha, who is the central deity of the Shingon school and the Tendai school. And he's the central deity of the mandala. So these Myo-o, these luminescent kings, let's translate it that way, luminescent kings, because of the fire.
That makes sense more, yes.
They are represented most often in the mandala, and they surround and protect Dainichi, and they are his manifestations.